5 months after we moved into this house and I had to break down my Lego city and reassemble it here, and we are finally getting somewhere. I have completely finished one shelf of the Lego city, doing all the detailing, getting the buildings in the way I want them to be, getting Tudor corner in there. I haven't been able to motorise the tram yet because I didn't quite have all the parts for it, but everything else is looking very, very cool, and I want to show you around it. Ignore what's going on the shelf above and the shelf below. They're very much works in progress that we'll get round to next, but we're working through this step by step systematically, and we do have this main shelf, first shelf done. And to address some of the people who are giving me that, oh Kev, it's on a shelf, it's not a Lego city nonsense, this one shelf of the Lego city is almost as big as the complete Lego city that we had in the old house. If you think about width wise, it's actually, I think, one base plate less, and then depth wise it's the same as the top level was. So this whole area is basically like the raised platform in the old place, but because we didn't then have stuff underneath the raised platform, it was kind of in front of it. By the time we got both shelves in, it's going to be about 50% bigger overall than the Lego city was in the old place. So it's just set up differently. It's still a Lego city and it's going to end up bigger. This was the most sensible thing to do in the space that we had, and it's looking really cool. Come look. Come look, come look. So first of all, starting from this end, and you can see that I've got some of the minifigs back in, I've got some of the vehicles back in, and I've been working on getting some of the detailing done as well. So we do have the Downtown Streetcar that came out back in August. It was a set I was super excited about towards the end of last year, had never built. I am planning on motorising it, but I don't quite have all of the parts that I need to be able to do that. I've got some plans off of Rebrickable. We are going to have it motorised, and we are going to have it stopping at certain points throughout the city as well. You can see we've got the tram stop that comes with that set is just there on our little town square area that I'll show you in a little while. And then we also have another tram stop all the way up here outside the Palace Cinema with the little bench and the little departures board. So there's going to be a couple of spots for the trams to stop in the city. So we've got the tram in, which I am very happy with. We've got Downtown Diner. What we've done is we've gone and done all of the curbs. You can see that all of the curbs have now been modified so they actually don't look weird and out of place the way they were before. We used to have this same style curb we've got on this side on the edge of the road plates, and then whatever edging came with the modular itself next to it, but I've now made them consistent all the way along. We've got this little light bluish grey single width, single stud strip, and then the rest of the pavement in dark bluish grey. So we've made that consistently all the way along, all the way around the city. So they actually look like they're part of a city now, not just modulars on a shelf. We've got some of my Muppets minifigs back in. We've got our little, I think that was the Lego store exclusive one just there. We've got a few bits and bobs in. We've got me and Anna back in the Lego city. So that's Anna's little sig fig, my little sig fig with my Pokeball and my cup of coffee, various Muppets scattered throughout. We've got the giraffe guy out of the collector minifigs. I forget what series he was from, along with Kermit the Frog in the car that came with the Downtown Diner. We've got one of my favourite sets of last year, the little tourist bus with the little alien tourist that came in the collectible minifigs. I love this set, and I love adding that modification to the set. And then we move from the assembly square on into Tudor corner, which is now fit beautifully into the rest of the city. If we just move the bus out of the way, Tudor corner fits in absolutely perfectly, and we've integrated it as part of the biggest change from the last time you would have seen an update, and that is this whole area here where we've got Tudor corner, botanical garden, and we've started to fill in a little park pedestrian area. So I've edged off the roads rather than having the roads go all the way up and trying to make the roads fit. I've just decided, right, we're going to edge that off. We are going to keep the tram moving around, so the tram becomes train around in this area, and I've not got enough green plate or tree stuff to make that area is not finished, but you can see what we have got is this whole big pedestrian area where I've got some of my food trucks in there. Like I mentioned before, I've got the little ticket booth that came with the tram. We've got the gift with purchase that came with the Botanical Garden, off the front of the Botanical Garden. The corner kiosk, which is the gift with purchase from Tudor Corner, is out the front as well as part of this little tram stop area. And then we've got some of the food trucks. We've got the little carousel in there. I ran out of the dark bluish grey plates that you can see we've got on these areas because I was doing all the edging on the modulars. The idea is to have this whole area paved off, but I bought 500 of these tiles. It's like 60 quid worth of tiles and used them all just amending the modulars. You can see I've extended the curb out on Tudor Corner, and like I say, filling in these bits as well. We just ran out of them, so I'm going to need to put another order for them in. But I love the way the Botanical Garden just kind of fits into this little area between Tudor Corner and the boutique hotel. What I'd quite like to do, and I'm certainly not brave enough to do it just yet, I would like to reverse the boutique hotel, because all the really cool detail of the boutique hotel is around this side of it, which you can't see at all based on where it is. But I really want the hotel and Tudor Corner to be the two buildings that edge the little pedestrian area and the Botanical Garden area, because I think they're two of the prettier modulars, but they both want to face the same way. Two things, Lego. One, we don't need a corner modular every 3 modulars. I've got more corners than middle bits. I need more middle bits. But 2, if you insist on giving us a corner modular every 3 years, for goodness sake, have them for opposite ends so that they don't look the way I've got them looking here. This is very upsetting to me. And like I say, I don't know if I've got the skills to be able to reverse either of them without making that look absolutely terrible. I did originally have Palace Cinema there, but I don't think the Palace Cinema fits in with the whole look we're trying to go with the Botanical Garden and all the other bits as well. If I could make this shelf be suspended without having this in the way, that'd be super as well. So we might need to put like a skyscraper around this to make it look like it's actually part of the building, part of the plan. But other than that, I'm very happy with how this area is looking as a work in progress. We've got the new donut truck to go in there as well, but I think it is looking pretty cool. And then moving further along, obviously we've got this little wild area where the road stops. I've actually edged the roads off so that they do actually stop, so we can have an ice cream van parked there as well. This is going to be a little bit more detailed rather than just a few trees and some green plate. I want to make it look a little bit more like maybe that corner we've got of the Botanical Garden, just have this a little bit more done up. What I kind of want is when the tram goes past, I want it to almost disappear behind what's there. So that's my thinking around how I want that to be working. But then we move into the Parisian restaurant. We've got the bus from the train station that came out last year. A couple more of the gifts with purchase. That was a gift with purchase that I think came with the jazz club, I want to say. We've got the bookshop in there, the police station. Like I say, trying to get all of the minifigs in as well to actually make it look like there's stuff going on. So we've got the little burglar from the police station on top planning a burglary, and then just like we had in the old version of the Lego City on top of the jazz club, we've got the Muppets doing a performance Beatles style on top of the jazz club, and then some more of my favorite vehicles knocking around as well. So we've got the camper van, we've got the big Lego store truck, which, let's face it, is probably too big. I might move down to the level below because it kind of is blocking the very nice frontage of the museum. We've got Harry and Ron out on a drive, another food truck, the car that came with the Palace Cinema, and then at the end the Palace Cinema itself, which again, similar to what I've said with the other corner ones, we're kind of losing half of the fun of that set because it's facing against the wall. But I've got so many corner modulars that I don't really know what else to do with them to be able to show them off to their full extent. And then we've got the shelves below, which, like I say, very much works in progress. There's lots of stuff still on there, but we've got the Lego store, we've got the Brick Cross station ready to go, the Sesame Street, which is a corner garage, which is a corner. We've got the modern house, I think that's called, which is a corner. It's got loads of corners. The idea at the bottom here is we're going to have the train track running around the back. You can see I've murdered the 2 trains yesterday trying to find the parts I needed to motorize the tram, but unfortunately didn't have them, so that'll be reassembled. This beach stuff is all going to come away, and we'll eventually have a beach on the project table, and we've got lots more vehicles that need to go back in as well. So it's still an absolute devastation down on this shelf, but we've got lots of lots of other buildings that we need to be building. I'm working on the pet shop that Anna got me for Christmas at the moment, and then I've got probably 10 rebrickable modular style buildings that I'm going to be working on from all of the unopened stuff that we've got down the bottom. So there's going to be lots more to go in, and hopefully within a couple of weeks we'll have both of these middle shelves on this unit done, and then that'll be city stuff done for a while. We can then work on medieval, pirates, castle stuff at the top, and then maybe get started on a theme park or a beach to go on the project table, by which point, because I'll have built so much stuff, we then free up the bottom shelf, which at the moment is just full of boxes of unopened stuff, and that gives us another shelf that we can work with in here. And ideally, within a couple of months, I'd like to get to the point where all 4 levels of this massive shelving unit have actually got built Lego sets for display on, rather than being used to store boxes full of stuff that I haven't built yet. So I'm trying to be a little bit more sensible and buy less. I don't think there's much more I need to buy at the moment. I need to build a lot of what I've bought already and work out if there's any stuff that isn't ever going to get built or doesn't fit into my plan, and maybe sell some of that on. Because we've got some stuff that I just can't imagine ever fitting in. Like, as an example, I got this on Prime Day because it was a good deal. I don't imagine I'm ever going to build that, but Anna has got C-3PO in the living room, so I guess he might go and live next to him eventually. But we've got lots of, I need to stop buying stuff just because it's a good deal and start buying with more purpose because it will fit into the displays that I'm working on. But I'm really chuffed with how that shelf is looking. Your feedback, very much welcome ideas for how we can make it look even better. I'm already thinking in terms of getting some facades behind what we've got going on there, so it doesn't just look like it's against a white wall. We could maybe have another row of buildings behind there, just the fronts maybe a little bit higher, so it looks like it's on kind of a hillside, which we could then use to factor in the fact that we've got it on 2 different levels. If you can think of a good way to hide these pillars, I am genuinely thinking maybe just wrap them with Lego and make it look like there's buildings around them, or just accept that they're there and it's part of the solution of it being in a very small Lego room at the moment. And hopefully within a year or so, we'll be able to move it out into somewhere a little bit bigger and have it on a big bunch of tables again. But I'm really happy with how this level has turned out. Hopefully the next level down ends up looking just as good. And yeah, watch this space. We'll have an update from down there very, very soon. But if you've enjoyed this little Lego City update, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.